Hey guys, time to chill out with Sub-07 and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we took a detour across Cycling Road and headed south, crossing into Fuchsia City, home of the 5th gym badge, and home of a new gym leader in town, Janine. This time, it's time to take on the gym. Oh god. What's up, dude? Yo, champ in the making! Whoops, take a good look around you. The trainers all look like the leader, Janine. Which of them is the real Janine? This is a bit of a ninja puzzle, because every single person looks like the gym leader. Fooled you! Ha ha ha! This is a school of ninja, which means every single person is in disguise. And there's fake walls. Last Linda would like to battle. Go! Alright, I guess that's a poison type, but we're stretching already. And again, there's a lot of poison in Gen 1, so I guess it's on brand. Janine's gym is poison themed, as I've said, so if you got any sort of steel type or poison type, you're going to have a very easy time here. Out of here. What else we got? Ivysaur? Oh, we got the Bulbasaur family. Interesting. Funnily enough, I've been sort of dancing around Janine's current connection to Koga, because I actually wasn't sure about this at the time. Janine is Koga's daughter, and she took over the gym after Koga was promoted to being an Elite Four member. Apparently, actually, in Fire Red Leaf Green, you can see her, not specifically in a unique sprite, but outside the gym after you beat the game, talking about how her father's training her in the art of poison types. Which is pretty cool. Nice little callback to Gen 2. Level up Artemis. Nice. And Venusaur. Yep. I'm gonna make the smarter decision. Let's have Inferno take care of this. Hi, Venusaur. Yep, shake them back legs. Unfortunately for you, you made a very poor decision existing today. Inferno Star, kill it. Boom shakalaka. Nice. One down. God knows how many to go. Oh, I lost. You're not weak. Girl, I got, what was it, 13 badges? I'm gonna stomp my way through this place. But yes, if you look very closely, you'll see dots on the floor. That represents which parts of the area are fake walls and which ones you can actually walk over. In Gen 4, they'll be more clearly marked as invisible walls that you can run into to see 3 at a time. What else we got? I'm Janine! How'd you know I was real? Let's battle. Well, she lied to you, because this is definitely not Janine. It's a camper. Or a picnicker. Edo Queen. Alright, that's a bit tougher. Admittedly, Janine's gym is on the easier side of options you can run into in Generation 2. A lot of the Pokemon that you'll be facing, including Janine's own team, will not be above level 40. But I think it's because she has more Pokemon than the average person does in the Kanto region, so they compensated by making her levels a bit lower. Oh, there's the leftovers kicking in. Nice. Yeah, leftovers are great. I think it's 1/16 of health they restore every turn, which is a lot better than you think it is. Tail Whip? Oh, you made a bad mistake today, girl. Die. Mud Slap. Nice. And easy. Easy peasy. Darn it, I wanted to win. I mean, don't we all? But I hate to tell you, I'm the main character, so you stood no chance. Let's put Alucard up front. Yeah, Alucard, Cordelia, and to a lesser extent Stark are gonna be the ones cleaning house for the most part because they're immune to poison. Wahaha! You betcha, I'm Janine. Nope. But since 2 steel types and a poison type, this is not gonna be much issue for us, let's be real. Nido King! A bit scarier looking, but nothing we can't handle. Alucard knows how to bite good. Chomp. Nice flinch. What else can you do, bud? Double flinch! Nice! Rare that I get that sort of thing. Can we go for 3? Ah. Well, it doesn't matter. He's using double kick, which is the worst possible move you could use. That's a quad resist for Alucard. Get out of here. Easy peasy. My disguise was right on. Dang! Yeah, you still blew it by taking the disguise off, you dumbass. Let's head You know, I can't actually tell which one of these two is supposed to be the real Janine. I'm gonna assume it's the middle one, so we're gonna try this one first. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm only joking. I'm the real deal. Ah, shit, we picked the real one. Whoops. Janine of Fuchsia Gym, that's me. Well, I guess we're doing this now. I thought we were gonna get one more battle first, but that's fine. Leader Janine wants to battle. She's got 5 Pokemon, which is the most we've seen out of the Kanto Gym leaders, and she leads with Crobat, just like her father. Level 36, Poison Flying type, with Wing Attack, Confuse Ray, Supersonic, and Screech. My Crobat is better than yours, and it's faster, Confuse Ray. My Crobat's better than yours. Hit yourself. You know you want to. Aww. Lowers my defense, that's fine. You're still getting wing attacked. Slap. You can tell she's new to this whole gym leader thing because she's pretty low level compared to the other ones. Wow, didn't go for Confuse Ray, I'm surprised. She's got 2 options for confusion, but she didn't use either of them. Well, that's your Crobat dead. But you did pick a Crobat, which earns you points in my book, because Crobat is great. Alright, Weezing next. You know, Stark would not be worth it. Let's stay in. Because Weezing is physical. Weezing, level 36, Poison type, with Sludge Bomb, Smog, Toxic, and Explosion. That's the one real danger of this battle, is if it uses Explosion out of nowhere. You might get caught off guard. Uh-oh. Sludge Bomb is pretty powerful, but at the same time, we're part poison, so we can resist it, thankfully. I'm gonna Confuse Ray this because I don't want it to try and blow itself up. Smog, alright. I mean, you do only have poison-typed attacks, so I guess this makes sense outside of Explosion. Yeah, Janine, weirdly enough, she's a kind of unique case of a game original character that never appears in the anime. Because since you've already encountered Koga in the first generation with Ash, by the time they go to Johto and Janine takes over, you never see her. Just sort of an anomaly in that regard, because you don't really see many instances of that happening. Second Weezing, Alucard, stay in. Use another bite. Just chomp that poison cloud. Ooh, nice critical hit. Yeah, this Weezing's got the exact same moveset as the other one, so that's why I'm not going over it, because they're both the same level. What'd you expect? Die. Now is probably the part where we'll switch out. Level up for Alucard. Nice. You're doing real good, bud. Next up, Venomoth. Interesting. I'm surprised she would go to that because the other one that she has is weaker. Cordelia, your turn. Next, Venomoth, her strongest Pokemon, level 39, Bug Poison type with Toxic, Psychic, Double Team, Supersonic. She probably went to it for the Psychic, but since I'm a Steel type now, sucks to suck, lady. Let's fly. Dire Hit! Interesting. I forgot she could actually use stat-raising moves. But I'm gonna fly into it. Yeah, Venomoth is her strongest Pokemon, but doesn't really mean much when you're up against a Steel Bird. Die. And last but not least, her final Pokemon, Ariados. Just stay in. Ariados, level 33, Bug Poison type with String Shot, Nightshade, Giga Drain, and Scary Face. Not a very good moveset because Ariados is just not a very good Pokemon, poor guy. Get ready to perish. It does have Nightshade, which does fixed damage based on levels, but there's only so much Ariados can do. Get out of here. Weirdly enough, in Heart Gold Soul Silver, she had 2 Ariadoses instead of 2 Weezings. Kind of strange. But that's that. You're a tough one. You definitely won. Here's Soul Badge. Take it. $780 for winning. Or excuse me, $7,800. We get the Soul Badge, which I think also comes with a very important gift. You're so tough. I have a special gift. It's Toxic, powerful poison that steadily saps the victim's HP. Toxic is really good. This is a move that damn near any Pokemon can learn, with few exceptions. I'm gonna really apply myself and improve my skills. I want to become better than both father and you. Do we still get to fight you? How will you distinguish our real leader? Unfortunately, no. That is the rule of old Pokemon gyms, is once you get to the gym leader, the other ones no longer can battle you. Unfortunate, but we kind of cleaned house anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Good job, everybody. Cordelia, you go up front. That's... I think it's best we stop. No, we're not doing this. We're gonna keep going, because we literally... It's not even been 10 minutes yet. We cleaned house. Let's just heal up real fast. And there is some stuff on the upcoming route that we will need Jerry for, but I think I could just grab that off screen. Because I'm gonna be honest, it's one item. It's not really worth it. Let's take a bit of a look around town first, though, because I believe we didn't go inside of the Safari Zone itself. Warden Gates, no, nothing needs to be here, which is fine. Yeah, the Safari Zone itself is no longer in service, as I said yesterday. Or not yesterday, previous part. There is a tree you can cut down to get to the back entrance, but there's not really much of note for you back there, outside of, like, a burnt berry. I think, though, if I'm remembering this correctly, Grandpa's a Safari Zone warden. At least he was. He decided to go on vacation and took off overseas all by himself. He quit running Safari Zone just like that. Damn. I guess he really didn't like this job all that much. Then again, this is the same guy who lost his teeth in the Safari Zone. Poor guy. There is a pond you can fish out as well. All you'll be able to find is wild Magikarps and Gyarados. So, nothing super interesting because you've already been able to get those for most of the game. So instead, I think it's time that we head east. What do we got? You're working on a Pokedex? That's really something. Don't give up. Thank you. On to Route 15. There is one new encounter for this place, and goddammit, it is a hard encounter to find. It is a 1% encounter rate. If we find it right now, I'm gonna shit myself. Oh, thank God I don't have to do that. No, that's a Pidgeotto. But put simply, there is a 1% encounter rate that is incredibly hard to come across, because of course it is. And wouldn't you know it, it's the one thing that would make sense to be a 1% encounter rate. Oh, God. Let's get out of here first, though. I think we'll fight a gym, we'll fight just a random trainer first before we get into that. Because there's a boatload of trainers out here. Hang on, I have to phone my mom. No, we're fighting now. Because it's time to have a bit of a conversation, because there's one new encounter in this place, and wouldn't you notice the most annoying thing to run into? It's Chansey. Chansey is the definition of pain if you're playing Gen 1, because it is the rarest encounter in the Safari Zone, and it likes to run from you. It can't do that here, and thank goodness. It may be a very rare encounter at only 1%, but that is your easier option compared to playing the first gen for it. Chanseys will not run from battle and are designed to be sort of just HP sponges. They take a lot of damage, and that's really all there is to it. The interesting thing, though, is that, bizarrely enough, Chansey got an evolution in this generation through Happiness with the form of Blissey, who has an astronomically high HP stat and decent special defense. This thing is the definition of just sit there and soak up damage, but it can't really do much else aside from play support. And weirdly enough, it actually got another evolution in the form of its baby form, Happiny, in Generation 4. Not really something super noteworthy, but it is something at least. The Blissey family as a whole is designed to be HP sponges and not do much else. But they do come with some rare things like the Lucky Egg, or I think it's the Lucky Punch, I think it's called, which are unique held items for them. Maybe not the best recommendation, but if you want a nice tank or someone that can just work support if you're playing Heart Gold Soul Silver, I guess there's worse options. It's just, it's really fucking rare. Let's dispose of these magnets. We got another Voltorb, great. I love it when my opponent has all the goddamn electric types that make it impossible for Skarmory to be useful. Get out of here. Couldn't have even bothered to get an Electrode, man. You're already at the right level for it. Come on. Well, there's the Magneton. At least you're half correct. You got a halfway decent team as a result. Get out of here. But yeah, Chansey is going to be encounterable on the next 3 routes that we're heading to, because since the Safari Zone no longer exists, Safari Zone specific Pokemon have spread out all over the place. That's why we could find a Kangaskhan in Rock Tunnel for the record. That's the reason why. Easy enough. And luckily for us, there's a lot of trainers out here, so there is a good amount of opportunities to get some experience for yourself. Maybe not always the most useful of trainers because they're kind of low level, but that's fine. Xatu? You can take this, Cordelia. It's a Psychic type. Psychic is resisted by Steel for some reason, so I guess that's fine. I don't know why, of all things, Steel resists Psychic. Because it resisted most things in the early gens. Gen 6 onward, they kind of took away the Dark and Ghost resistance, which I guess makes sense. It's just a bit weird. Level up. Much better. Beefy-ass physical defense, let's go. Alakazam! Ooh. You know what, Stark? I want you to punch this thing. Because that's actually a powerful Pokemon, but it has no physical defense. Just use Slash. Side Beam. Nope, that's not happening. Since we are Bug Steel, we resist, thankfully, and get out of here. Perish. Nice job, Stark. Yeah, there's just a lot of trainers around here, which plenty of opportunities to pick up some experience, even if they're not super great. What else we got? Route 15, Fuchsia City to Lavender Town. Yeah, this is sort of a long, winding route to get to Lavender Town, though. That's the wrong button. Because if we check the Pokegear, there's a lot. Because there's Route 13 and there's Route 14 and 12 all the way to get us up there. There's a long connecting spiral of sorts. Gotta run through this grass a little bit because, oddly enough, this is gonna sound kind of stupid. I do kind of want to run into the Chansey for reasons I'll get into later. If push comes to shove and we aren't able to easily find it, I might just look for it off screen because it's a Chansey. It might just decide not to show up. Also, yeah, you can just play the Pokegear music, so we can just listen to the sweet sounds of the Pokeflute playing. Doesn't really seem to be helping us all that much, though. There we go. And another Pidgeotto, of course. This is the most common encounter, so I guess that's kind of normal. Well, actually, no, I'm thinking of it as the first encounter, because it numerically is in the Pokedex. That's probably the Nidorinos. Nidorino and Nidorina are going to be pretty common around here. Are you a trainer? Okay. Because you were spinning, I wasn't sure. On sunny days, I think that the kids would rather be playing in the schoolyard than studying in class. Of course they would! What are you, nuts? Nobody wants to be in school when it's a nice day out and they want to go play. Oh! I forgot the teacher was a job in Pokemon. Hey, Pom. Hi, haven't really seen many of you. Can you do me a favor and die, please? That's a terrible thing to say to someone when I first meet them. Goodness. Baton Pass? Okay. Don't really like to see that very often. And Cubone. Why did you do that? That might be the stupidest decision you could have made. Like, what possible reason did you have to do this? Ha! Really? Get out of here. Focus energy. Yeah, that's not gonna do much. I suppose while we're doing this, one thing I can bring up. Pokemon following behind you. Usually there are some rare things that will pop up for a certain Pokemon in certain locations if you're playing Heart Gold Soul Silver. If you're playing in that area for Fuchsia, and you have a Tauros with you, it'll actually start giving a unique animation for it, signaling that it's kind of excited because it remembers the Safari Zone. Since Tauros could only be encountered in the Safari Zone in Gen 1, they're just probably recalling what they used to be in. Let's just, shock the monkey. You know, monkey shock therapy, the thing you do. As one does. Get out of here. And easy peasy. I didn't want to lose. Well, you really shouldn't have baton passed your first turn. Chad, what do you want? Oh my god. Yada yada yada, shut up, Chad. My god, some of these kids are so fucking loud and annoying. Like, I don't mind kids, but I know that some people really don't like the phone calls in Gen 2. I don't personally mind them, I just like to play it up for stupidity. Another Pidgeotto, of course. I probably shouldn't have Cordelia up front for this because, well, she's already higher level than the others. Might as well switch out. I don't remember if this is an actual thing in Gold, Silver, Crystal. It might be for Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but I feel like I remember there being a thing where playing the Pokegear's Pokeflute channel while you're walking through tall grass, you might have a chance to put the Pokemon to sleep. I don't think that's how it works, but I don't know why I vaguely have a memory of something like that happening. I must be thinking of something else, though. Paris! Really? And I know that there is often the criticism, once again, I'm bringing this back up, of trainers in the Kanto region for Gen 2 are piss easy. Yeah, they are. That's just kind of how it is, though. They're normal trainers. They're not going to beat your ass. Poliwhirl. That's a bit better. Plus, we do get some outliers that have decently good Pokemon. It's just the level curve in Gen 2 is relatively low, so you don't really get crazy strong gym leaders or crazy strong trainers. Besides, Stark is going to casually just mow down this kid's team anyway. Ditto! We haven't really seen Ditto around all that much, actually. That's kind of a unique pick. Hiya! You're still dead, though. And last but not least, another... God damn it. Don't use Paris, at least. Paris is not a good Pokemon. Like, I don't hate Paris, it's just, comparatively to the others, he's not very powerful. Out of here. Take that, Billy. Oh no, how can I lose? Very easily. Very, very easily, in fact. Yeah, we're just gonna do a bit of wandering. Hoppip. That is also an encounter here, I do forget about that. But it's also Hoppip, so why would I remember that? Hoppips are very, very, very punchable. What else we got? Have you forgotten anything? Probably. I don't know what you're talking about, though. I should note, there is one item that you can get around here that I haven't mentioned yet. If you need cut for it, though, is the problem. That item being a PP up, which is useful, but I'm just gonna come back and swing for it later with Jerry, because having to do all that just to get one item sounds like a bit of a pain in the ass. Plus, Stark is busy putting in work right now. He's cooking. Kya! Really? So much for being a competent teacher, you're just gonna scream when you get your ass beat. Nidorino. There's Nidorino's counterpart. Nope. Don't need to fight you. Bye. What else we got? We're on a field trip to Lavender Radio Tower for social studies. That explains why there's teachers around then, because I don't ever remember there being a teacher class in here, but I guess that's a sort of obscure one they come up with just for this area. Bellsprout. Let's just cleave that little plant in half. Hiya. And technically there was another route that we could have gone to instead of Route 15 here. We could have gone directly south of Fuchsia, but I think that's a place we're going to want to save for another time. It will come up, but not just yet. Hi, Weeping Bell. Get out of my way. God, Stark has just become an absolute monster ever since I gave him that metal coat. I'm so happy. Because I've never gotten the chance to properly use a Scizor in a normal game run-through, so this is just vindication. This feels great. Like, if you ever want to just power trip yourself, have something like a Scizor. One weakness, powerful as fuck. Maybe not the fastest thing, but it'll mow down most anything that gets in its way. And even if it doesn't, what's it gonna do, hurt it? No. Die. Level up for Stark. Nice. Take that, Gianni. You're wickedly tough. Yep. Anyone else in this route? No, right to Route 14. That does also reset the Pokegear, which is nice because I didn't want to actually hear that music too much. Yes, hello again, Pidgeotto. I think we're going to do a little bit of looking around to see if we can find that Chansey. If not, I'll just move on, but I'll be right back. Alright, things were a bit of a bust, unfortunately. We'll have to try another route. For now, let's beat up some more trainers. My dream is to fly with my beloved bird Pokemon. Well then, catch a flight, dude. Or teach it fly. Like, that's pretty easy to do. Like, you can accomplish that dream pretty easily if you just get the Fly HM. Fearow. Not much of a problem to us, because we have a Stark. Slasher. Die. Thank you. And what else we got? Second Fearow, of course you do. Let's go to current. I haven't really seen much action in the last few gyms, so why not? Get zapped, nerd. Zap. And out of here. Easy does it. Good job. I can dream, but I can't ever fly. Though that's a bad thing to say, dude. You could absolutely make that. Just gotta believe in yourself. Looks like we got hikers. And more trees to cut. Hi, did you know? Pokemon get more friendly if you train them in a place that they remember. That is an interesting little tidbit, actually. I fully forget about that. Because that doesn't really come up very often. Pokefan Trevor wants to battle. Sends out Psyduck. Oh. Dude, that's not going to be threatening at all. Get out of here. You could have at least made it a Golduck. It would have evolved by now. Nice try, Trevor. Where did I meet this Psyduck? I'd assume on this route, but I'd hope otherwise. If only there were an easy way to identify where I got my Pokemon. There literally is, dude. There's a person who can tell you that. Or in later games, it'll just outright tell you in the Pokemon's description. Let's put current up front. That tree is blocking the actual grass for this route, so instead we'll just keep going up a little bit. Let me tell you, I had a hard time catching my prized Pokemon. Oh, really? Another Pokefan, I imagine? In that case, what do you got? 3 Pokemon. Alright, Carter. Bulbasaur, okay. That's a bit respectable. Kind of hard to come across. Both of my attacks are resisted by you, so I'm just gonna surf and hope for the best. Damn. And you missed anyway, you fucking idiot. Oh, had a berry, though. Out of here. It is kind of weird knowing that later gens would make berries their own entire identity, essentially, but Gen 2 was just like, no, it's just a berry. Just a berry. There is Gold Berry, which makes it a bit better, but the only stat healing stuff was just berry with a certain type of thing about it, like it was burnt, or it was frozen. Now it's like actual names for all the berries. Hello, Squirtle. Goodbye, Squirtle. Zap. And last but not least, Charmander. Yep, I thought so. I mean, that's a decent collection, but maybe make them stronger before you challenge me next time, dude. I mean, as far as we know, I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be right now. I'm the champion. You can't just come across me with your 3 Kanto starters and be like, I got this. Just not happening. Oh, wow. There appears to be a lady of sorts inside of the grass patch over there, which I will want to take a look at some point. But we need a cut for that. Ugh. It's a pain in the ass. You know, actually, that gives me a solid idea, because we've been going for a bit. I think it's best we stop here. Next time, let's play Pokemon Crystal. We're going to keep heading upwards in the hopes of getting back to Vermilion City, so that we can try and wake up the Snorlax. And also see what other secrets we can find along these routes. Till next time, ice out.